It's so funny because we're talking about the two movies. There's the conspiracy theories about the protest, where if you're on the left, it's like, well, the protesters out the protests are obviously agitated by white supremacists and or government actors, right?
Yeah.
The
Oh
secret
my
cops,
God.
undercover cops, FBI agents that are making the protest worse. And then if you're on the right, you're like, well, it's China. They're Chinese agitators, or that there are like out of state antifa groups that are involved in the protest.
I don't know
And
what is real.
so, well, here's funny. I do think Antifa, I think local Antifa is involved in the protest. And there's actually been lots of videos where you'll see what looks like a bunch of white kids in Antifa gear trying to destroy a store. And then you see someone who's black telling them to stop it.
Oh, that's the saddest thing ever. That's the
Well, no,
saddest thing ever.
I think it's the greatest thing ever. Okay.
Why?
Because, look,
The
if
Black
there's
Lives
any,
Matter guys are the ones that are going to get the blame for it, though.
well, no, actually not. They're actually
Oh,
not.
really?
No, because if you look at, because here's the thing, it's it's difficult for Republicans and the president to blame black people for anything, right? Because you don't want you want to avoid the accusations of racism. So Antifa is like the perfect scapegoat.
Oh,
Like, oh, it's a
yeah. It's
primarily white
rich,
organization,
yeah, rich white
white
suburban
privileged
kids.
kids, suburban kids. Well,
Oh,
generally, I
yeah.
don't know if that's always true, but that's how it's perceived. So they're the
They're an
perfect
easy target.
scapegoat. Right. So, but I do think if one good thing, well, hopefully multiple good things will come out of this, especially regarding police training and other things like that. But if there's another good thing that can come out of this whole fucked up situation, is that if Black Lives Matter activists can turn on Antifa and realize that Antifa are not their allies and they're not their friends, and that there are Black Lives Matter people, and I would assume lots of black people who want to fight racial injustice in their community and in the country, but they actually want to build up society. They're not communists. Okay,
Right.
they're capitalists. They're fine with living under capitalism, and they don't really have anything to do with primarily white kids who are out there LARPing in the streets and are like, yeah, fuck capitalism, yeah, tear it all down. And if we can have that like contrast image portrayed publicly, then I think it will help everyone turn against Antifa finally and
Right.
realize what Antifa is. And actually, here's what interesting too. So Trump has said that they're going to label Antifa a domestic terrorist organization,
Yeah,
which I don't
because of
have
the
any,
scapegoat thing. Like, it
right,
is
because the
perfect.
scapegoat
It
thing,
is
which I
very
don't really have
perfect.
any. I don't have any problem with that. I do think Antifa should be labeled as a domestic terror organization. I don't have any problem with that, and we'll talk about that later because some people do have a problem with that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Very
some people
interesting.
do.
Some very
Yeah, it's very
interesting people
interesting.
with a very interesting problem.
Right. But here's what will be interesting is if when this is over and the police have been able to arrest whoever they can arrest for the looting and the rioting, if they find out that most of the looters and rioters are Antifa, which I'm not sure. I'm sure there's lots of, looting and rioting that's happening on a local level. There's nothing to the Antifa because some people are just fucking assholes who want to steal shit. Okay. But if they can find that a significant portion of people looting and rioting are Antifa people, that would be super interesting if suddenly the country has to acknowledge the dangers of far leftivism, right?
Ooh, that is a good point. That is an excellent point.
Because so far all it is you have to worry about the far right. You have to worry about the white supremacists and the Nazis and all that stuff, which I agree, you do have to worry about that stuff. But there's no eye being focused on the far left and the
Yeah.
anarchist
You remember
and the
that
people.
The Jordan Peterson debate where he said, "How do we know when the left has gone too far?" Now I'm thinking maybe it's the rioting. Like,
Exactly.
maybe it's the
Exactly.
burning and indiscriminate destruction of property. It seems pretty obvious.
Because
Like,
here's
you don't
another
have
thing.
people on the right rioting like that.
No, generally not. Not that I can see. And it's funny because people were like, how come the police aren't attacking? They kept showing pictures of, like, in Minneapolis, they had a bunch of typically people who were on the right that were open carry, and they were all protesting inside the Capitol building, and they're protesting the coronavirus lockdown. And people kept showing pictures of them saying, how come the police aren't attacking those people, but they're attacking the black protesters in Minneapolis?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, well, those people didn't start burning the Capitol building,
Yeah, they're not destroying property.
destroying property, or endangering lives
Yeah.
to this extent, obviously. But anyway, I would be interested if if they can show that there is this Antifa connection here, because I wonder if part of the reason that these protests are so widespread is not only because of coronavirus, but is because there is a growing far leftist movement online that is motivating people, young people across the country, to kind of believe in this communist, anarchist, Antifa bullshit. And if that's like a big motivating factor for these riots.
This is what I said. This is why I said unplug the internet. God damn it. It's the great filter. Like, these people would not have been able to communicate 20 years ago.
Right. Right. Well, this is
This is the real mind virus. Like, it's funny, the anti-theist movement got started and they kept calling religion the mind virus. No, bitch, this is it.
Yeah, someone was saying, I don't go on TikTok, so I can't confirm this, but people were claiming that TikTok was leaving up lots of videos of like Antifa people like giving instructions on how to protest and how to destroy and loot buildings and how to avoid being arrested by the police and all this other stuff.
My God.
You go, well, TikTok is owned by China, so why the fuck do they care? Or by Chinese company, why the fuck do they care?
Shit. Holy shit.
So that's kind of
China's behind this fucking nonsense.
So, well, I don't know if you saw, there was the video of the guy in all black with the umbrella who was like in the gas mask, who was like breaking the AutoZone windows in Minneapolis.
I didn't. No.
So there was a guy in all black. I guess everyone but Adam saw this. There was a guy in all black.
I watched some of the videos. I just were so like harsh. I wasn't trying to watch them all.
No, I feel you.
Like they're literally disturbing.
Right. But this wasn't that disturbing. The guy in all black is wearing a gas mask. He has a black umbrella open, which apparently has something to do with protecting you from being seen by drones or something. And he was smashing the windows of this AutoZone with like a hammer or some kind of tool. And he gets called out by one of the other protesters who's like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, this is not like a local protester or whatever. And so everyone immediately starts jumping on the narrative. People on the left are like, this is the secret undercover cop. Look at his gear. His gear is too nice. It's too perfect, right? And then people on the right are like, oh, this is the secret undercover Russian agent and or Antifa
inside
agent.
Job.
Right. And it's just like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm very skeptical of the conspiracy or the George Soros is funding. That's my other favorite one. George Soros is funding these riot protest movements all across the country. Because George Soros apparently wants to burn the country down. George Soros wants to make his own movement look utterly insane and stupid, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think it's more likely there's just really stupid, angry people that are lashing out in really angry, stupid ways.
We did have the umbrella, so he couldn't be too stupid, right? Or maybe he's just paranoid. I don't know.
Well, when I say stupid, I mean like stupid in terms of not low intelligence, stupid in terms of letting yourself be guided by your emotions, not thinking about the end results here, not being pragmatic or practical about wanting to enact positive change in the world, blah, 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 blah.
There's going to be a lot of arrests from this because there's a lot of evidence floating around. And unless these people are going to vanish from social media, which I find highly unlikely, they're going to make arrests. They're totally going to make arrests.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they did that in the riots in 1991. They made tons of arrests from the riots just from video footage. Now it's like they have 1,000 times more video footage and photographs and all that stuff to pour through.
I think Nuance Bro said it best. He said, I'm on team build, not team destroy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I like that. Yeah, can you put my screen up real quick for a second?
Yeah.
So tell me if you think this organization should be identified as a terrorist organization, Adam. Can you see the tweet?
Yes. Alert. Go ahead, read it.
So, at Antifa _US. Alert. Tonight's the night, comrades. Tonight we say fuck the city and we move into the residential areas, the white hoods, and we take what's ours. Black Lives Matter. Fuck America.
My God. And they have hammer and sickle in their
little avatar. Yeah, I think it's okay to label Antifa as a terrorist organization, guys. I think it's okay. I don't think that's the slippery slope. I think that's totally justified. So
crazy.
Yeah, fucking crazy. So thank you for pointing that out, Paradox.
And that is the institution that Vosh is currently supporting.
Well, I'm sure they'll say, "Well, I'm not supporting that specific antifa. I'm supporting my local antifa. My local antifa is different." You know, they always create space for themselves.
Holy cow!
I am glad that Twitter suspended them, though, so that's good. That's good.